Hello, my name is Erik and I am a music producer, composer, remixer. I also teach music production for Berklee College of Music. I love producing music, I love writing music. It's a lifelong, ongoing process. Here we are at Four Rail Studios, and it's an amazing space to work in. Bob Griffin, the owner of Four Rail Studios, was a student of mine, and he invited me to come out here and do some recording. I'm definitely into the combination of electronic music and orchestral music, string sections with Moog synthesizers, analog synths, and bring them into the current production level. These aren't things that I can do in my home studio, and those of you who have followed my YouTube channel or have taken classes with me, you've all seen my home studio, and it's a nice space and I've got lots of gear in it, but I don't have the big console. I don't have the big live room, which we'll take you out and show you in a little bit. I don't have the expensive microphones. So those are things that you got to come to a studio to get. So what's really cool about this mixer here, this is SSL mixer, is that up here on the top we have all of these fantastic SSL mic preamps and channels, including the EQ. It also functions as a control surface for Pro Tools. And that means that when I'm in the focus mode here, that I have control over my mic line inputs coming in here. But then I can just simply switch over to Pro Tools. The top section here is still working as my mic line inputs, but now I've got control over all of my channels for my Pro Tools session. I can press play here. We've got transport controls. I've got edit controls. I've got send controls. I can just grab a fader here and move it up there, and it shows up right up there. So super convenient, great, really, really fantastic workflow. I have a small control surface in my home studio, but nothing compared to this, and nothing that compares to having all the SSL channels. We've also got some fantastic vintage outboard gear, including a Lexicon reverb, the 224. So there's the control, and Lexicon reverb's over here, and some really nice universal audio tube tech, and the distressors, Teletronics UA. So these are some classic vintage outboard gear. One of the best things about Four Rail Studios, I've got to say, is all the attention that Bob put into building this live room with the scalloped walls. And this room just absolutely comes alive in terms of the audio when you play in this room. It's not just a square room, and if you don't look carefully, you don't see that all these walls are scalloped all the way around. And then a nice ceiling with wood panels on the ceiling. Bob is an engineer by trade, and he figured out the mathematical equation of this room to make the reverb decay time musically pleasing. That's beyond me, whatever he did. It sounds amazing. So one of the things that I did when I was playing the piano in this room is to set up some room mics so that I can, a stereo pair of C414s, so that I can record those at the same time that I'm playing the piano, and then mix in the room into the mix at whatever level I want to. There's also a drum room and vocal booth and on the other side of the live room, and a couple of great microphones we have set up here, a Neumann mic, blue mic. And this room is fantastic for drums. It's a nice tight room with a nice studio sound to it. So another alternative if you don't want that big sound of the studio space. Inside of the piano I have some Earthworks mics as well. So this is for my close-up mics in here. And this will be the primary sound I have going on from this Steinway piano. It's a lovely Steinway piano. I'm also decided to take full advantage of this room, and not just recording the Steinway piano for some different parts on my songs, but also to have a little jam session in here. So I've got a couple amps set up here and a couple of my classic keyboards, my classic ESQ1 Insonic keyboard. Those of you that know my YouTube channel know I love these things. I got a Moog over here, sub 37, and I can play it all together with a Steinway and just have some fun being in this space.